Selamat kembali ke podcast Sembang Bola Kopi Wonda, rancangan yang dibawakan khas dengan kolaborasi di antara Wonda Coffee dan juga Persatuan Bola Sepak Malaysia ataupun FAM. Seperti biasa, setiap minggu kita bawakan tetamu-tetamu istimewa. Tetamu untuk episod minggu ini cukup istimewa kerana dia tidak dilahirkan di Malaysia, dia tidak membesar di Malaysia, tetapi kini dia berjuang untuk skuad kebangsaan. Memperkenalkan tetamu minggu ini, Sergio Aguero. It's a real pleasure to have you in the studios to talk about your entire career, to explore your life story. I think a lot of Malaysian fans, they watch you on the field. They know who you are. They know what you can do. They know what you bring to the national team. But I think a lot of people are also very curious about your story, about where you grew up, how you became a footballer, and how all the way from Argentina, somewhere here, you moved all the way across the world to Southeast Asia and Malaysia, and you've made a home in Malaysia right now. So first and foremost, thank you so much, Sergio.
Thanks so much for the invitation. It's my pleasure to be here.
I've got to ask you one question, and I think this is the most important question.
Okay.
Are you related to Sergio Aguero? To Sergio Aguero?
No.
Nah.
It was just casualty, the name.
Yeah.
Because it's, I don't know how many years more bigger than me. But just casualty. My mom and my father put that name.
Yeah.
And it becomes same like him.
Yeah. But do you know anyone?
I know
related
his
to him?
brothers. I was friends of them. Both Mauri and Gaston is his name. I am friends of them.
Friends with them.
Yeah.
How many times do you get into scenarios or situations in games where you hear the commentators shout your name the same way Martin Tyler did for Aguero?
Always. Almost always, yeah. It's quite fun, but always.
Always. I mean, it's incredible, really. You've become a cult hero in Malaysia. I mean, your name is one thing, but also because of how long you've been in Malaysian football. I want to start this conversation, Sergio, by talking a little bit about your upbringing, how the town that you were born in, how you grew up in that place. Could you tell us a little bit? If I'm not mistaken, it's La Rioja. Is that how you pronounce
Rioja.
it? Rioja. Struggling with my Spanish pronunciation.
Yeah, I born actually in Chamical, which is a province of La Rioja.
Okay.
Small city, very small. It's like 18 or 20,000 people.
Ah, okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
Nothing. There is my whole family, my mother, my sister, my father, all my family. I'm proud where I did born.
And what was your growing up phase like there? Like, was it a city that was already obsessed with football? I mean, because we know about Argentina and Argentina's obsession
In Argentina,
with football.
you born with football. It's not about the city. You born with football.
Football in your heart, in your blood.
Actually, I play with my friends.
Okay.
Every day, like 5 times per day. Because Argentina is like that. You play in the street. You make with your shoes. You make a goal post and you play in the street with your friends. As I say, you born with that in Argentina.
How did you get into playing football competitively? Because this is one thing that I'm always very curious about, right? When you live in a country, or when you were born in a country where almost everybody plays football, everybody dreams of becoming a footballer, the competition is crazy.
It's hard, and there is too many people. In Argentina, we are like 49 million, if I'm not mistaken. So it's the competition is tough. I was born like at my 12 years old. I did travel with 12 years. It was my first experience traveling because in my city there is not a big team.
Okay.
So I have to travel the first time at 12 years old, and I can only stay for 2 weeks because I cry every day. I miss my
How
family.
far you went?
It was far, like from my hometown, 7 hours.
Oh wow, that
Or
is
maybe
crazy
more.
far.
Yeah, but then after 2 weeks, I have to come back to my place because I miss so much.
Yeah.
After 2 years, like enjoy with my family, I tell my father, Dad, I want to try again. So as I say, all the team is outside. I must travel again. So we did go into a trial in an academy, big academy in Argentina. So they take me, and I stay there 2 years. And when the opportunity come to go to a big team, I miss again my family because I was like 15 years old. Then I back, and after 6 months, I think I was boring, and I tell my father, please give me the last chance. He say, but you sure you always come back? And I said, give me the last chance. This is my time. Then I did go to All Boys, which is a big team in Argentina.
Newell's All Boys?
No, it's All Boys.
All Boys,
yes.
okay.
It's from Buenos Aires.
Okay.
Newell's All Boys is from Rosario.
Rosario, okay.
Yeah. Then I started there to play, and I started to do my career there when I was young. They put me into the first team. I didn't play, didn't make my debut in the first team because there was many good players, big names. In that time, in that club, was a big name, so it's quite difficult.
Who were some of the names that were in that club?
Ortega. Do you know Ariel Ortega?
Ariel Ortega.
The number 10 of
wow.
national team.
Ariel Ortega was
in
there.
my position. What can I do? I can do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, hands up.
There was many players like from River Plate. They come from Boca Juniors. They come to play there. So the competition was crazy.
You know what's crazy, Sergio? Whenever I hear stories of players that come from Brazil, from Argentina, like this is always difficult for Malaysians to make sense of because Malaysia is a small country. 7 hours, maybe 10 hours or 11 hours you can get from one end of the country to the other end of the country by road, right? So 7 hours feels way too long.
It's too long.
But in Argentina or in Brazil, it's a common distance.
It's
a
common,
normal
it's common,
and
it's common.
everybody has to go through that story of leaving your family, traveling far, learning to survive.
As I say, from my city to the school, not the school, the academy that I go first was like 8 hours. Then when I moved to All Boys, then it's 12 hours. It's quite long.
That is
so,
crazy.
And my father and mom work, so I cannot see them much. Just when I have holidays, I back always, of course.
That is crazy.
But now I'm more far than that.
now it's more, even in terms of flight, it's like what? 20 hours?
32 hours.
3 transits?
Yes, Dubai, Brazil, 2.
This is crazy, man. Talk to us about Argentina a little bit. If you ask me, Sergio, if there is one country in the world that I've always wanted to visit purely for football, it is Argentina. Yeah. And Buenos Aires, and I remember reading this statistic somewhere, Buenos Aires has got the most amount of football fields per capita in the world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a
You have
football
everything there,
crazy country. Why?
I'm not sure why, but yes, as a footballer, if you like football, if you love football, you must go to Argentina, and especially like when you have the derbies, when you have like
Super Clásico.
Racing Club against Independiente, Newell's All Boys against Rosario Central, Boca
River
Plate. For me, it's the number one
greatest derby in
game.
the world.
Even you'd say me, Real Madrid Barcelona is no chance. I did been in Real Madrid Barcelona, and I did been many times in Boca Juniors River Plate, and it's no chance. It's another experience. You must be there. I always say. 2 weeks ago, I think I spoke with Junior. He want to be in One River Boca. I tell him, you must go. Will be the craziest experience you will live.
I've got friends who have been there before. In Asia, maybe the closest game to the atmosphere that you get there is maybe in Indonesia when it's Persib versus Persija. Persija is crazy. They call it the Super Clásico of Southeast Asia, right? But in the world, La Bombonera or Monumental, when it explodes.
That is crazy because the whole country stopped for it.
Yeah.
When Boca Juniors River play, the whole country, they don't go to the job. The next day, if you lost, most of the people is from Boca and River in Argentina. Of course, Racing have a big fans, Independiente, but if you lost the next day, you cannot go to the world.
You know what's the craziest story that I've ever heard
They
about?
make you crazy.
The craziest thing I've ever heard about um, Boca and River Plate's rivalry is that I don't want to mention the name, but there are certain drinks where the brand of that drink is red and white color, but when they sell it in La Boca, they have to change the color to black purely because you cannot red and white cannot in La Boca. I want to come back to your story, Sergio. You told me just now that when you're 12, you go and then you come back. And then 15, 16, you come back hometown. You're a person who's very homesick easily, right? In the early days. For a person who was very homesick in the early days, you decided to leave Argentina fully at a very young age as well. At the age of 22, you left Argentina and went to Europe.
Was before than 22.
Younger?
Yes, 19, I
19.
think. Or 20. It was I was playing in All Boys.
Okay.
And was a team from Spain, from first Serie A, coming to buy me from All Boys.
Okay.
And they cannot make the deal because Malaga, the team was Malaga from Spain.
Okay.
Yeah, they want me on loan for 2 years and to grow my football, and All Boys didn't want. They want to sell me. Then that became a problem because I want to go. It's a big opportunity. It's La Liga.
Yeah.
A big team. They don't want to leave and then start the problems in the daily, And so I decide, okay, you don't put me in the first team, I don't play. I play in the second because in Argentina you have the reserve, it's the second.
Yeah.
They who don't play in the first team, they play in the second. So I say I will never make my debut because he's big names. So I decide to leave to Hungary.
Yeah. And how did the Hungary offer came about?
Was by agents in the middle. Yeah, one friend tell me I have this chance for you. I say okay, let's go to try.
Yeah. What was playing in Hungary like? Was it because it's a different Spain would have been a bit more natural for you, same language, culturally very similar too, but Hungary is completely different in terms of culture, language. What was that? Even in terms of weather, it's very different.
The weather was crazy. Sometimes we training with minus 18. My feet, you cannot feel it. I put 4 or 5 pair of socks because.
And then your boots have to be bigger size.
It's crazy. But no, Hungary is a nice country. I was surprised because I heard you will be not welcome because you are foreigner here. But as I say, if you play good, you will be welcome. So I start in 15 games, I make, if I'm not mistaken, 10 or 11 goals and 9 assists. So was a very good start. Then they start to take care of me. Yeah.
And after Hungary, and this is where it becomes very curious for me, right? Because you're doing well in Hungary, you get embraced by the fans, as you say. Then comes the opportunity in another part of the world, Southeast Asia, in a country called Malaysia. Malaysia has got a long reputation and history of players from Argentina, from Brazil, and even from Chile, and in South America in general. But how did that offer come to you, and what convinced you to make the jump all the way to this side of the world?
Okay.
It was Malacca first team, right?
JDT2.
Oh, JDT2 first, yes. Yeah. How did that offer come about?
I was there, then I got a call from Genoa, Italy.
Okay.
I did go to Genoa. I passed the trial and everything. I've been in Genoa 6 months. Then they tried to make me the passport, the Italian passport, because in Argentina you have
Italian roots.
Italian or Spain. And they try. I thought I have a grandmother from Italy, but was not. So we cannot make the passport. I back to Hungary, and then a Slovakian team want to buy me, but then become crazy by the owner of the Hungary team. They want to sell me for crazy money. And then is coming the Malaysia offer from JDT2. The Mario Gomez, the coach?
Yeah.
Okay. From him, his son tell me my dad is here and he's explaining everything about Malaysia. Yes, at the first, of course, I don't know about Malaysia. But then I start to study what is Malaysia. And the first step I make in Malaysia, I was in love.
You was in love.
Yeah.
And in Malaysia, you have traveled to different places. You've lived in different places now. What are some of your favorite moments in Malaysia that since you've come here 5-6 years ago?
No, I think my favorite moment was the first step here in Malaysia, which made me love the country. But yes, I have the two big moments that my two babies born here. That was the biggest moment in my life.
Yeah,
They born here in Kuala Lumpur.
and they're both essentially Malaysian now
Yeah,
at this point.
they are.
Yeah. I'm very curious about your position on the pitch, because this is something that fans outside always talk about, always debate about. What is Sergio Aguero's best position? Where do we play him? I know you're Mr. Versatile. You can play in different positions, but some people say that, Sergio must score 30 goals a season, he's a striker. And then someone else says that, no, but Sergio is more of a second striker and he's more of a creator. He can make assists and all that kind of stuff. Let's hear from the man himself directly. What is your best role?
My best position, if you ask me, is as a second striker.
Okay.
As a number 10 in Argentina, I born like a number 10.
Riquelme.
He's my idol.
Idol?
Yeah. I love him. He's my favorite player. I always watch him. I try to copy him. Of course, it's impossible because
Yeah,
he's top.
crazy.
But yes, my favorite position is as a behind the striker and a free role. But now not many teams play with that position.
Yeah.
Even in Argentina now the number 10 disappear a bit. Because now, the tactics and the defensive part is changed a lot. Before, the number 10 don't have to defend much, just...
Focus on creating.
yeah, but now it changed a lot. Nobody play with a number 10. So if you ask me, I will speak about tactic also. If I prefer like to play a 4-4-2 and me as a second striker moving around.
Yeah.
But now most of the coaches put me in the midfield.
If it's a 4-3-3, then in midfield most of the times. But you seem comfortable there too.
Yeah. I can adapt to any position. Last year I played most of the game as a winger. I never played before.
Yeah.
Last year was the first time and I adapted well. I played for the left winger after first time. I did well. I played in the right winger. Yeah, first time.
Yeah, which I think at the end of the day, as much as football coaches want specialists in certain positions, but I think coaches also appreciate versatile players who can offer
There's no many
different solutions.
There is no many that can play
in different solutions,
in different positions. Yeah, I think that add a value to myself that I can play everywhere.
I want to talk a little bit about
even in training. I play as a center back, but in training only.
As a goalkeeper?
No,
not yet.
I born I was a goalkeeper when I was kid. But the problem was like I take the ball and I start to dribble everyone. Sometimes I lost the ball. They hit from long and they score, the opponent.
Maybe if the goalkeeper gets injured in the next few games,
You can.
You never know.
I'm not bad.
I want to talk a little bit about Malaysia, Sergio. I always find this very special, right? When an individual from a completely different background uproots himself, lifts himself out of that country, moves elsewhere, not just for work, not just for football, but also for himself, for the family. And then they find new roots in a new country and build a life there. And you become attached to this whole new country, to this whole new place. And now you're Malaysian. But I want to know, what was your reaction like the day you were informed that the opportunity was there for you to become Malaysian and play for the Malaysian national team?
Okay, to play for the Malaysian national team was not the option first.
Okay.
It was like Pahan told me, we are going to take you because you can get the citizenship in 1 year. So, of course, for me, I was happy.
Yeah.
I was happy because I love Malaysia. I feel like, even without IC before, I feel like I am Malaysian.
Yeah.
And that is the great part of Malaysia. Every player I know, they come from overseas to Malaysia. They feel well, they feel comfortable. They don't want to leave. Like I have friends from Argentina that they play here. They don't want to leave Malaysia. Of course, it's football and it's not easy to stay like 2-3 years in 4 years because it's not depend only on you. You can play well, but then the things happen. You know, the things happen. And okay, for me was important moment when I get the IC. And then after a few months, I got the national call-up. That was a top moment for me, for my family. We was proud because we work very hard to be there, to be in Pajan also because as a foreigner I was going out on loan to Perak. So okay, it was a big moment for me.
Yeah, now that I think about it, right, you've played in so many different parts of the country. You've been in the capital before. Was Felcra based here?
Selangor United.
Selangor United based here, right?
Yeah.
Training? Yeah. So you've been there. Malacca, you've been there. JDT2, Johor, Pahang, Perak. You've played in so many different states in Malaysia. In terms of, the national team, you get the call up, you start doing well, and then comes that first goal. And that first goal was in the ASEAN Mitsubishi Electric Cup 2022. Tell us about that moment.
Was special. Of course, the first goal is always nice. More for the national team. I will tell you the truth. That game we have to win for big goals.
Yeah.
And the goals didn't come. Was like in the minute 40 something against Laos. And I want to celebrate. And I turn around and I see Kim Pangwon saying like, come back. And after the game finished, he told me, Aguero, I was screaming crazy to you to come back because we need goals. And Pau Marti, our coach today, he say like, let him celebrate his first goal with the national team. Okay, but was a very nice moment and also needed because we cannot score. We try, we cannot score, and then was the first goal. Always the first goal is very important. And nothing. I feel very, very nice that day.
Do your parents in Argentina follow your story?
Yeah, they follow everything. They know everything. They watch every game.
Yeah.
If they can, they watch every game. Unfortunately, now, last year, for example, the Malaysian league was in YouTube, so easily they can follow. Now it's quite more difficult, but they still follow.
Sometimes I think about it, right? It must be crazy, like, from your dad's point of view, from your father's point of view, it must be crazy because if he looks back in his life, he can remember the 15, 16-year-old Sergio Aguero who was struggling to stay 7-12 hours away, who come back and then ask for one more chance to go. And then he finally allow. And now you are like, 30,000 kilometers away in a country playing for a different... That's a crazy journey.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it must be crazy for your parents too.
Yeah, but they are proud because we are a good family. You know, when you come from a good family, you are a good person. They miss me so much, but of course, every time we can travel to visit them, we make it.
Do they come here?
Not yet. I because my father's scared to take the airplane.
Okay.
So we cannot manage him to
because
come.
it's 30 hours, right?
Yeah. He's scared a bit. He got an accident before in a car, so he have that kind of I don't know how to call it in English.
The trauma, the fear.
Yeah. He cannot travel far. So, but coming back from them, like they teach me well when I was young. Not only them, because when I traveled to Buenos Aires when I was a kid, my grandmother follow me everywhere. They bring me to... Even they live with me in Buenos Aires.
Oh, wow.
They follow me everywhere with football. They was a big part of me.
It's behind every successful footballer in Argentina or South America, there is always a story of a grandparent or someone that is just, like a constant presence of support and love. In terms of your time in Malaysia, Sergio, you've been here for a very long time now. You've
8 years.
Adapted to 8 years. You've adapted to life here. Tell us about what are your favorite things about Malaysia?
No, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But what are things you like the most about being here?
To be honest, the people. The people here is very nice, very hot, I will call.
Warm, yeah.
Warm, yeah, not hot, warm. Yeah, the people here make me feel as I am in home in Argentina. They are nice. Always when I talk to people who don't know Malaysia, I tell them you must come and know the country, because it's not the favorite place for many people that they don't know. For example, I traveled last year. I've been in holidays in Maldives,
Okay.
and I meet a French couple, and I tell them you love Maldives, you must come to Malaysia, because there we have also
Islands, yeah.
Perhent, and we have Sabah Island. You must come. It's very nice, and we have Kuala Lumpur, which is the top city.
Incredible. Kuantan. Tell us a bit about Kuantan, because when I follow you on social media these days, I look at a guy who has completely adapted to life. And sometimes players from abroad come here, right? They focus on just the football. Football, they go back to their house, training, game, back to the home. And then when the contract finishes, they leave.
Yeah.
Right? It's a very simple relationship with the country, nothing too much. They don't have interest in it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly normal. Everyone has their own preferences, right? But sometimes you come across some players who very early on already adapt into the local lifestyle. They're eating at the local places. They're making friends with the local people, being a part of the community. One example would be your teammate Paulo Josue in KL. I mean, for the longest time, everybody in KL loves him. Mr. KL. Everybody loves him here because he's adapted to life here. If he is Mr. KL, then you are Mr. Kuantan at this point, because you have fully adapted to life in Kuantan. Talk to us about life in Kuantan.
This is my 5th year in Kuantan. I am adapted, of course. Yeah, it's a long time, and then I feel appreciated by the Kuantan people. They everywhere I go, they make me feel great, and they know me. So yeah, special about what you say. I make a business there.
You have a business there, right?
Yeah. It's not only in Kuantan. My wife is a businesswoman also, so we make everything together. Yes, but Kuantan now is my city.
And tell us maybe a little bit about the business, because it's still football related, sports related as well. What do you guys do in Kuantan?
We have like 3 futsal courts.
Okay.
And then we add now, because me and my wife, we love paddle.
Okay.
You know paddle?
Yeah. It's becoming popular now.
It's becoming
everywhere.
very popular, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's the fastest growing sport in the world. So, because we love it, in Argentina, it's a big sport.
It's big now in Argentina?
Yeah, not now. Like
before as well?
The first time I played was 10 years ago in Argentina.
Wow, okay.
It was popular already, very popular. But before, was more popular. Now it's coming more.
Coming back again.
Yeah. So, because we love it, we make a paddle court in that play also.
And it's like, this is very much part of the local community, right? People in Kuantan go and play. And
most of all in futsal. They start to know about paddle a little bit more, because I try to promote it in my social media, in my wife's social media. Even Tenku Hasanal was coming to play a few times already. So we are trying to make like paddle known by the people.
Well, one of the other things I realized also, Sergio, is that when a footballer travels and builds a life in a different country, a lot of it is also sometimes possible because of a very supportive partner.
Of course.
Tell us about your partner and how supportive she's been throughout the journey.
First of all, she's the most important part in my life. If was not her, I will be totally honest with you. When we come back to Malaysia, I was thinking to leave football. I was tired. Tired. It was too long. I start from
a young age.
And then she told me, okay, let's try the last time. I will support you, and she pushed me to don't leave football. So I'm here because of her.
That's incredible. before we wrap up this conversation, I just want to talk a little bit about Malaysia in terms of football, right? Because you've been here now for 8 years, as you say. You have seen the national team evolve over the years. You have seen the different types of players that have come in, that have done well, that have left the scene. Who is in your 8 years, yeah, not just now, in your entire 8 years, who is the best Malaysian footballer you have seen?
Malaysian, right?
Yeah.
Malaysian. I have 2 players. Can I choose
Okay.
them?
Yeah. 2 is fine.
I will choose when Safari was in his top moment.
Yeah.
JT was an incredible player. I say this is a crazy player.
Yeah.
And now, of course, Arif Aiman. Both of them, when Safawi before, now of course he's playing very good. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
he's not, but I mean his top moment was crazy.
The goal against, I think it was Guangzhou in the ACL when he.
Yeah, when he was in his
Crazy.
top moment was amazing.
Yeah.
And now Arif Aiman is
How good is Arif?
crazy. He's in his best moment right now. It's impossible to take his ball when I was training or we play against him. He moved the ball in the last moment very fast. I don't know how he do. And then when we ran with the ball, he stopped immediately. And not many players can do that. I see that on Messi, for example, that he stop and he go again like nothing.
Yeah.
That is a very good ability from him.
From Arif Rahman. In terms of coaches, Sergio, who are some of the best coaches? And I maybe divide it into 2 categories. One, the best in terms of tactics. The other one, the best in terms of man management. That means they can motivate the players, they can manage all the characters. Who are the 2 best Malaysian coaches?
Malaysian?
Yeah.
Or the coach I had?
Oh, okay, coach that you've had here.
Okay,
Fair
yes.
enough, yeah.
I will talk about Kim Pangon. For me was a top coach.
In what sense? Man management, tactics?
Both things.
Both.
Yeah, he put. He was putting a lot of pressure, but it's normal. I like it. But in terms of tactic, of brave, also he always want us to. Doesn't matter which team you play, to make the high press and make the other team not comfortable. I like that kind of game style. To high press, asphyxiate the opponent and don't let them play. Yeah, he was good. Pau also was his
Assistant.
his staff. Yeah, so it's good.
These are the good
Yeah.
characters. In terms of fans, now you come from Argentina,
Yeah.
a country that has got a crazy fan culture. I mean, there was a book. This is one of my favorite football writers by the name of James Montague. In 2019, I think, or 2020, he published a book called 1312. He spent 2 years traveling around the world, experiencing the different fan cultures. So he go to Eastern Europe, he go to Serbia, and he go to Greece, and he feels the football culture. And then he goes to Italy with the ultras, and he goes to Spain, England with the hooligans, and he comes to Indonesia with Persija. And then there's one whole chapter about Argentina, about Buenos Aires, about the Barras Bravas. So you have had the experience of, Argentina fan culture, and then Ultras Malaya and Malaysia.
Yeah,
How incredible is Ultras Malaya?
of course it's good. In Malaysia, the fans is good. I feel like we can have more support from people. The national team, the football teams, if you want to have a sustainable club, you must have fans. I feel like we still can give a little bit more of support to the teams. But of course, talking about when they come to the stadium, they are amazing. The last 2 years in the AFF Cup was crazy. I didn't play with a lot of people like that. We play like with 62, 70 something. It's crazy. The atmosphere was good, and that make us the national team special, strong. The teams when they come to Bukit Jalil, it was not only for us, it was for them. They scared. For us, we feel like, we play with this thousands of people will mass go and kill them. But also the opponent, they always when they play against us, they talk about how amazing the Malaysian fans are.
The atmosphere is
Yeah, it was crazy. It was amazing.
absolutely incredible. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people talk about fan culture in
Then
Southeast
this
Asia.
year, I went to the final to watch Johor Selangor,
Yeah,
and was like 80,000 something. Was amazing also. Was amazing.
yeah.
Was amazing.
Fan culture in this part of the world, Southeast Asia, it's very underrated. When the stadium is full, the noise levels
It's
are
crazy.
It's absolutely
It's
incredible.
amazing,
And it's probably a privilege, right? I mean, for a boy in your case, final question, right? When you were young, when you were 15, for example, all you dream about
Of course.
is playing in front of that many people.
Yes, and I will say that to play with that kind of many people and also to represent a country.
Yeah.
So that become true for me.
Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Sergio,
Thanks
for
to
taking
you.
the time to have this chat. But before that, we're going to need one favor from you. We're going to need you to sign a Malaysian national team jersey for us, because kepada semua penonton di luar, korang semua berpeluang memenangi jersey khas yang akan ditandatangani oleh Sergio Aguero. Korang cuma kena follow akaun media sosial Wonda untuk dapatkan maklumat lanjut tentang cara nak memenangi jersey eksklusif ini. So Sergio, maybe we can get you to sign the jersey. Before we wrap up this interview, Sergio, I'm going to need a favor from you to sign the Malaysian national team jersey, because kepada semua yang menonton, anda semua berpeluang memenangi jersey khas yang akan ditandatangani oleh Sergio Aguero. Kalau nak tahu macam mana, korang kena follow akaun media sosial Wonda. Sergio, could you please sign the jersey? Ingat follow akaun media sosial Wonda. Di sana akan dapat maklumat yang lebih lanjut tentang cara korang nak menang jersey eksklusif yang akan ditandatangani oleh bintang skuad kebangsaan dan juga pasukan Sri Pahang pada ketika ini, iaitu Sergio Aguero. Well, I think that wraps up the conversation today, Sergio. Thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure.
Thanks to you. It was my pleasure too.
Yeah,
It was a long time waiting for it.
It's been a while since I've always wanted to do this interview with you, and finally we had the chance to do it. And I'm sure the Malaysian fans would appreciate your story as well. People value your contribution on the pitch. And may you continue to have a long future with the national team and enjoy
I hope so.
as much as you can
Yeah.
playing for the Malaysian national team. Thank you so much, Sergio. Terima kasih juga kepada semua yang menonton. Seperti biasa, pastikan anda follow akaun media sosial Wonda untuk dapatkan maklumat lanjut tentang cara nak memenangi jersey ini. Terima kasih kerana menonton podcast Sembang Bola Kopi Wonda.